Okay. So some buds were like, hey, it'd be really cool if somebody did a Pyre Let's Play, where people, like, read everything. So, this is the first time I've ever done a Let's Play. I have the tendency to get distracted sometimes in the middle of me talking, but I really love this game, and I want to share it with other people who, for whatever reason, are unable to play or just have, like, trouble with a whole lot of text, because this game is a lot of text. So yeah, I'm doing the thing. Disclaimer, I'm not a voice actor. I hope you like Valley Girl, because that is my voice. I apologize in advance. Okay, let's do it. So I'll basically be reading, like, dialogue options and all the little blurbs in general. So I'm gonna adjust my mic. Your days in the downside brought slow, lonesome agony. Now, as you lie yielding to the elements, something rumbles into view. 3 shapes emerge, each clad in strange attire. And the blurb for downside says, a vast purgatory into which the Commonwealth casts its convicts and enemies. None have been known to return from this forsaken land. Masked woman. Another piece of filth expelled from the Commonwealth. Commonwealth, a proud country risen from the ashes of a fallen empire, home to a multitude of ethnic groups. Founded on principles of mercy and kinship, whose exact meanings evolved through many centuries. Masked something. See? Right on schedule. What'd I tell you? You told us we would find someone alive. Someday. I said we'd find someone alive someday. Just not today, I guess, but don't be glum. You know I see you frowning underneath that mask. Looks like he's breathing. So here's something cool. The masked wanderers presume you are a male. You can change this. You can change your pronouns to she, he, or they. And in case you, like, accidentally, like, gorilla finger it, or like, oh crap, I chose the wrong one, or you decide you want to change it later, you can always change it in the options, which is neat. I'm gonna choose she for now, because I'm a she. Seems she still is. Then stand aside. I shall send her to a better place. She's a she? Can you people just tell? Hang on. The markings on her rags. I think she's one of them. But look at her. She is beyond our help, and we are beyond hers. Broken, shaking, starving, probably diseased. Yeah, good luck with that there, chum. See you back at the wagon. Indeed. The day goes dim. You have at best an hour. Understood. I won't be long. After the others leave, the man turns towards you and begins unfastening his mask. Hello, my friend. Don't care who you are or what you did. None of that matters anymore. All of us who are equal nothings here. You are parched and he gives you drink. You ache and he binds your wounds. You hunger and he gives you food. Little by little it helps. There. Turns out you're tougher than you look. Name's Hedwin. Now come on. And this beautiful man is one of the 3 masked wanderers who found you clinging to life and the downside. You sense no ill intent as he helps you up and leads you to an old black wagon, nothing like the stately vessels that paraded the Commonwealth criminals through alabaster streets. And that says the same thing as it did before. Hedwin beckons you to enter the black wagon. Step aside. Step inside. God, I'm so good at this. I'm sorry. The weather-beaten wagon is as much a mess inside as out. You see the masked woman and the talkative creature taking stock of ancient-looking books. I'm back. And with a guest. She loosens the clasps on her mask. You may call me Jodariel. Jodariel is the most imposing of the 3 masked wanderers who found you clinging to life. She's very large and very pretty. And as for myself, the small one struggles with his mask. Jodariel soon assists him. Ow! That is to say, you may regard me by the name of Ruki Greentail, who is the smallest yet loudest of the 3 masked wanderers who found you clinging to life. Such pleasantries out of the way, the horned woman then motions to the others. She glances at you sidelong as she speaks. Can she do it? Hope so. Haven't asked her yet. What? Then what are we waiting for? Hey, sister. Nice meeting you and all, but tell me something. You know how to read or what? He is asking if you are a reader. One who can derive meaning from text. Literacy has been prohibited for centuries. Those with knowledge of the old ways violate the law of the land. You can admit it. Over time you manage to learn something of the old ways in spite of Commonwealth decree. Deny it. Literacy is a serious crime. No one in her right mind would dare violate the law of the land, or remain silent. Who you are or what you did to earn your sentence is no one's business but your own. I'm gonna remain silent. Like a true JRPG protect. This is not a JRPG. You stare back at Ruki but say nothing in response. He stares back for several moments, then grows angry. Silent treatment, huh? No, don't you play dumb with us there, understand? The dumb don't have those kinds of markings. Those are something else. We know what you are. Reader, you owe us your life. We ask for something simple in exchange. Open one of those books back there and tell us what it says. Sorry to put you on the spot like this, my friend. The exiles indicate the books in their possessions. Have a look. So, this is your intro to the Black Wagon. There's a lot of stuff that you can poke. You can poke a lot of things repeatedly. You can be a complete nuisance. Intricate sigil. A symbol of some sort is set in the wagon's floorboards. You cannot sense its purpose. Lone minstrel. A figure sits very still in a corner of the wagon. Now is not the time to check on him. Side door. Beyond lies the boundless downside. Even if you could run, you would not get far. Old Rites. I don't actually know how to pronounce that. Colorful robes and ceremonial masks adorn one of the wagon's walls. I have to clean up this spider. Odd creature. Odd creatures. Hungry-looking creatures roost near some sort of attic. There is nothing you can do for them now. Okay. Strange book. One of several such heavy, ominous volumes. The exiles you met seem very interested in them. Interact to learn more. You pick up one of the old and heavy volumes, bound in materials you do not recognize. And you have a very pretty illustration and a lot of text that is hard to read, but thankfully you can inspect it. Forward, a formal welcome undersigned by the 8 scribes. You, dear reader, are an exile of the downside, such as we, the 8 who wrote this book of rites. That you possess it and have a capacity to glean its words is testament enough to your potential. Thus we reveal a path from this forsaken place to freedom, a homecoming in glory. The stars themselves shall be your guide. Ere the turning of the year's first solstice, seek the nearest longitude between the brightest of the 8 as they align as shown. Arrive as a triumvirate, clad in the raiments of the rites, bearing this book. Oblige the voice that tells you more. The book describes a complicated method through which exiles can return to the Commonwealth. The words swim through your mind as headwind gets your attention. Well, friend, what does it say? But then your vision starts to fade and blur. You feel your body weaken and give out. And the rest I shall let Logan Cunningham explain.
Reader! Dare you tamper with forbidden knowledge? So soon after your sentence into exile. 'Tis true what the book says. You can be free again. Perhaps not you yourself, but someone worthy of the privilege. You witness now the path toward salvation. You witness the rites, the one way to return to glory. Though in your case, I hardly think it possible. Yet, by the grace of the scribes, it is my duty to inform you anyhow.
Hello, Shay.
Good work. Also, I'm going to turn on subtitles really quick because I forgot to do that. And aim assist because I'm a plebe. It worked. So it is true.
Oh, my.
Yeah, but what now? And where'd the reader go?
Veretusta.
She should be out there still. For now, we have to put our faith in her. She could abandon us.
Ratana.
She won't. You look upon the three of them from beyond as Headwind then calls out to you.
Agirete.
Reader, we aim to free ourselves. We will not grow old and die on the downside. And now I swear to you, when we get out of here, you're going to come with us. But first we need your help. Show us the way. Freedom. You focus all your mental faculties to do as Headwind asked.
A celestial orb falls from the heavens when the time is nigh.
Use L to approach the celestial orb.
Exiles conduct the rites as a triumvirate, for they must prove their trust in one another, not just in themselves. The three must act as one.
So the way they're showing here. Here is a tutorial for fantasy basketball.
Now plunge into the pyre with the orb and be purified. Yes, the exiled rookie has the way of it. Whoever steps into the flame is banished for a time. His or her cohorts must make do on their own. Oh, but it is not so simple. In the rites you shall face adversaries whose own freedom is at stake. Beware the aura that surrounds them, as they shall beware yours. The aura is your wrongdoing. Accept it as a part of you.
No pressure or anything.
Cast your aura like a stone. Correctly done. Again, just so. A glorious performance, I admit. More than I expected from the likes of you. Grasp the orb once more. The orb absorbs the aura, then the orb quenches the flame. Now I say jump. Leap with all your strength. Now snuff out the adversary's pyre, whilst yours yet burns. A daring display, flinging the orb into the flames like that. You elude banishment using such tricks. Glorious.
Whoops. I'm only semi-good at this game.
Rookie plunged into their fire. Alpha. A rude predicament for the Beyonders. Brilliantly done.
So yeah, depending on like size of the character, among other factors,
Seize the orb.
they will give you more or less points.
Unfortunate for the Beyonders.
So like faster characters can easily get into the
The
pyre.
rite is complete. There, dear reader. Now you understand. Or do you? This was but a glimpse of that which lies ahead. I would tell you to turn back, cast down your hope. But all those such as you never listen.
During the rites, only one exile on each side is permitted to move at any given time. The three must act as one. The others are still picking themselves up as you awaken. Oh, that was something. That was our way out. So now we just follow the stars, or what? Supposedly. Reader, come, let us regard the night. Jadario leads you outside, where a clear night sky awaits. Now show us before the howlers catch our scent. Where shall the rites commence? Rites, an ancient ritual competition through which the worthiest exiles regained their freedom. The 8 scribes gave their freedom so that we may yet have ours. Prayer from the Book of Rites. You gaze at the stars. Seek out your destination. So there's a lot of like... This is just kind of a really cool screen in general, and this is not all of it. It does expand later, but you have little star signs. Scorpus, the Olden Star, star of the Old Cutter. Those born under it are wiser than most. Caprias, the Olden Star, star of the Moon Stag Hunter. Those born under it are ambitious though also discontented. Geminian, the Olden Star, star of the First Empress. Those born under it seek knowledge and new experiences. And I think those are all of the star signs. And yes, what's your sign does is, for some reason, a relevant thing. Goal, the South Star. The South Star burns bright over a massive ridge of stone much farther than the naked eye can see. Interact to determine the location of the next ray. It's the only one you can select, but it's really cool. 200 leagues due east, the Ridge of Goal. Ridge of Goal. According to the stars, the next rite shall soon commence here. The fossil remains of the serpent titan slain by Golgothanian yet loom over those living in its shadow. Great, and we're supposed to be there when, exactly? Very soon, according to the stars. You should be able to arrive in time, if you make haste. Then we'd best get started. Well, this ought to be good for a few laughs at least. What do you say, Jody? Jodariel turns to you, studying you, and I think the names still say the same, they're just there. Reader, do not deceive us. Pray we make good use of our remaining time. What she means is, glad to have you aboard, sister. We're counting on you, my friend. See you inside. Freedom. The rites are the key. There's a lot to take in. Your fellow exiles await you in the wagon. Join them. That is the Downside Prairie. You arrive in Downside Prairie where the road ahead is forked. There is a lack of consensus about which way to proceed. Downside Prairie, one of the Downside's only verdant regions. It only gets less hospitable as you press further north. I'm telling you, we ought to take the northern pass. Got an associate holed up in Hollowroot I've got to pay a visit to besides. Hollowroot, the northern route to the Ridge of Goal, goes through a small exile encampment. Every so often tempests come and scour the huts and hovels, but they always crop back up. Fie on your associate. Best we head to Bloomingpool and avoid attention. Bloomingpool. The southern route to the Ridge of Goal goes through a humid area pocked with hot springs. Runoff from the sandfolds means no bathing in the springs, so they're just there to mock you. And get stuck in a bog while we're at it. The dispute continues as Hedwig listens for a while. What if the Reader settled this? She marks the way, we got us there. If these rites are meant to test our faith, then we'd best learn to trust the Reader's instincts on our path. No second-guessing her along the way. Can we all live with that for now? Yeah, sure. If necessary. Then it's settled. Just point the way, my friend. The stars guide us through you. You may now choose a route towards your goal at certain junctures. Weigh the options. So you can go either to Hollowroot, Rookie knows someone here who owes him, or Bloomingpool. Jodariel thinks she can find rare flora here. I kinda wanna make Jodariel happy, and I haven't actually chosen this option before, so I'm going here. You will usually get something for each, and sometimes you'll get, like, relationship stuff. Jodariel offers to show you around Bloomingpool after she notices you staring at the bogs and vegetation near the wagon. Soon, something catches her eye. Observe. This shall pay for half our trip. We found a black bloom. This can be sold at the slug market. Blossoms at specific times. We'll bitter it first. A taste of the black bloom makes the pain go away. Journey onward. The black wagon grinds to a stop at the base of the Bridge of Gull. The others ask you to assist with making preparations for nightfall and the commencement of the rite. You've revealed the first exile, and you can talk to somebody, which is what that little ... means. She seems to have something on her mind. Reader, Greentail here was just complaining about how you opted not to take us up to Hollowbrook. What? And violate our anti-second-guessing pact? No, I was only saying how our sister's gonna have to keep on making the tough calls. Besides, just making sure we got something to pawn off at the next slug market we find. And we have. Now let us focus on the task at hand. We've reached our destination and have much left to prepare before tonight. The two of them soon go about rummaging through the Rimands, and I still don't know how to pronounce that, and the books strewn about the wagon, leaving you to your own devices. Let's see. And as you gain people and go more places, you will get more stuff in your wagon, and it will stop being such a mess. So, Headwind shit says, Headwind's cooking tins. What passes for cooking supplies in the downside, Headwind does most of the cooking. Headwind status, preparing the grounds. And that's another fun thing. Every character's respective items will tell you where they are and what they are doing. Jodi's throw rug, fashioned from a howler's hide, sends their ilk a clear message. Dodariel says not to step on it. Jodariel status, nearby. This is a drive imp. Creatures such as this must have been bred to push the black wagon along. Ruki's item is a Greentail family portrait, a reasonable likeness of a younger Ruki with his mother and uncle. Ruki is nearby. Let's see. Attic ladder. They wait up to the wagon's drive imp centrifuge. Only imps could fit up there. This is the same thing. Also, you can harass the drive imps, which is always fun if you're bored. You can basically poke everything in here and it makes noise and it's really great. Lone Minstrel. You observe the man slumped in the corner of the wagon, bearing some sort of stringed instrument. You sense he lives, but nothing more. Seems inopportune to ask about him now. You observe the ladder leading to the locked enclosure above the cabin. The wagon centrifuge must be up there. Its drive imps stare down at you with big wet eyes. I don't think... Oldermonts. Observe the masks and robes whose old engravings and embroidery suggest a formal purpose. Some of the garments are massive, while others are so small they might fit a child. Here's the common room. Your fellow exiles' living quarters are functional, but little else. And this is... In the common room, you may review various notes and observations about your fellow exiles and their respective paths toward enlightenment and the rites. Which are basically levels. So this is where you basically view, like, your team and stuff about them. Headwind, the free spirit. He wanders the downside in search of a way to regain his freedom and return to his home. Rites power is cast, throws his aura in a straight line, high jumps to evade adversaries' auras, sprint, runs much faster for a short time. Personal, he is a nomad. Men and women cast from the Commonwealth and stripped of name, home, and title. They came from all directions toward the Commonwealth, where at last they settled. Some of them. His past as an outrider. They endured the high-wing remnants, never flew far from their mountain nests. Those who served on the blood border were taught to always watch the skies. And his astral sign, which is relevant, somehow, is unknown. You do not know his astral sign. One's astral sign often foretells of one's disposition, strength, and idiosyncrasies. And as unknown that are still unlockable are crimes. You do not know why Headwind was exiled yet. As mercy guides our hand, we spare your lives, but rid ourselves of you, from the sentencing ceremony. Or motive. You do not yet know what motivated Headwind to do whatever he did to earn his sentence. In the downside, one's past tends not to be a subject for discussion. And years exiled. You do not yet know for how long Headwind has been living in exile. Some withstand the downside for no longer than a day or two, while others last for many, many years. Observations. He is the one who nursed you back from the brink after finding you on the downside. His genial manner suggests that life in exile has not yet broken his spirit. He wears a bronze clasp identical to that of Jodariel, suggesting the two of them may have met before their exile. He has not yet revealed what he did to earn his sentence. And obviously, like, stuff like this, I think I said that, stuff like this unlocks more the better you get to know them through certain events. I have not gotten all of their characters yet. I think some of them come from certain interactions with different teams. I'm not sure where Dodario's comes from yet. Hopefully we'll find that out in this playthrough. Maybe not. So Jodariel's, she is the fallen soldier. She is a grim, long-time resident of the downside, grown accustomed to surviving there. Its power is about the same, cast, jump, and rush, which is lunges forward in one swift motion. Her race is demon, former men and women who survived in exile long enough to be transformed by it. All are welcome here, save demons such as you, from the sentencing of Chief Physician Oralek. Past is veteran. Everyone served on the Commonwealth's blood border. Those who excelled remained. Clashes with the High-Wing remnants were frequent, though the greatest worst had passed. Astral sign, crime, motive, and years exiled are all unknown. She seems to be responsible for the Black Wagon's security. Her future suggests she has lived in exile for much longer than the others. Her grim outlook and the fact that she still wears the bronze clasp with the Commonwealth blood border suggest a military background, though what she did to earn her sentence you do not yet know. And Ruki, the fast talker. He is an opportunistic and well-connected cur still clinging to his once comfortable lifestyle. His race is a cur. Swift, dog-like creatures known for their loyalty, optimism, and appreciation for the simple things. The Alpha Chiefs would later say their kind went soft no sooner than they joined the Commonwealth. Past as a trafficker. Dealing with contraband for long enough can lead to making many strange acquaintances. What remains now of the fallen Empire's old and tarnished currency is still of value to some. Still of value to some. So basically, he's just gambling. Everything else is unknown. He seems to be the most well-connected of the masked wanderers who found you, and knows something of the land. He has a rather opportunistic disposition, and his ostentatious clothing suggests a lucrative background in the mercantile business. Even still, you do not yet know for sure what he did to earn his sentence. And I think that's about it, except for the book. And this gets updated as you continue the story and also unlock certain areas. Future chapters will be unlocked later. The first exile, in the words of the Master General. You know perhaps the thrice cursed name of Solia Mur, the Emperor of Sar, the first exile, and my liege. This chapter concerns him and those who found him in the downside. Each of us was sent to take his life, such was the hatred for him in and around his country. Yet we found in Solia Mur a man transformed in body, mind, and spirit, a man deserving as much more than mercy. In time he named us all his scribes, and he became the eighth. It is my greatest honor now to share with you his deeds. To know his story is to know the rites. And currently that's all we have. Okay. Let us commence the rite. You reach the celestial landmark, now to get everything and everyone prepared. Interact to begin your first true trial. As darkness falls, your fellow exiles stand together, clad in the romance. I am seriously going to look up how to pronounce that after I finish this one video. The preparations are set, however, everything is still and calm. Soon they grow restless. Keep telling you, there's nothing here. What a bunch of idiots we are. If we traveled all this way for nothing. I don't think we did. Look up. The goal of each rite is to extinguish the adversary's pyre using the celestial orb that falls from the sky.
Freedom! The stars align at last. You reach the Ridge of Gaul at the appointed time, and your triumvirate is ready. Your adversaries in the rites this eve shall be the accusers. Whose ever pyre yet burns once the other is extinguished shall step closer to freedom. Now let the rites commence.
The stars are aligned and your pyre burns bright. Across from your companions appear several others also clad in romance. Your adversaries in the rites. Everyone ready?
Non catica.
Let's hope so. Be still, we have a visitor. The one Hashim refers to steps forward. At last, the Nightwings grace us with their presence. The Nightwings, the name of a triumvirate in blue. It seems your fellow exiles have assumed their identity. I see that the reports of your demise have been exaggerated after all. Even I was beginning to think you were gone for good. Nobody moves, save for the man robed in gold, who unfastens his mask. Surprised to see old Lendl again? I trust you remember my face, though you must have assumed never to see it again after last time. Lendl. He is the apparent leader of the exiled triumvirate you encountered at the Ridge of Gold. Never had I come so close to freedom only for you to dash my hopes. Now I and the Accusers shall repay that affront. Accusers. An exiled triumvirate clad in gold. Their leader harbors ill will for something he thinks you did. He shoves his mask back on and takes position with his comrades. It is time. From the shadows, you clutch the Book of Rites and focus on the task at hand.
Begin! Poor Lendl.
Nope. Nope.
Banished one and all. Have the Accusers underestimated you? Sinners. All banished. Exactly by the book.
No, I shall not accept defeat from you again. Hear me, Accusers. Stand your ground. Let your auras boil in rage.
It seems that you have flustered the Accusers.
We have rattled them. They mean to draw us out. And we'll just have to run more circles around them.
Have you any idea what that Lendl did to deserve his exile?
So yeah, depending on whether or not you're actively winning or actively losing, sometimes your opponents will react
Was a
differently.
crushing blow against their Pyre.
So as you can imagine, there's a lot of variables about how this game can go.
Alas for Headwind.
Also, losing does not result in a game over. It just continues from there, which is really cool. For now,
Spectacular!
I'm just gonna kind of go with the route that I personally think is best. Like, not best, but results in the best ending. But if this all goes well and y'all want me to do it, I can do like lose every game, everyone sucks forever run.
Yes! Now go on just once more. And it is done. You have prevailed. Rejoice then in your single fleeting victory.
Your deceit may have earned you a hollow victory, but know this. The Accusers will not forget your wickedness, and when next we meet, you will rue the day.
Bask now in the wisdom of the scribes.
Yeah, that guy's a jackass.
The exiled Jodariel has gained enlightenment.
We've just stood worse nights than this.
Only the enlightened can regain their freedom.
Though few is strange. And you can level up. And you can choose, I mean, you can switch between masteries and take different ones from different branches. So there's Boons of the First Exile, Rites Masteries enhancing a demon's spirit, and Sheer Force of Will. The fallen Emperor Mur moved past his many failings as a man, achieving selflessness in exile. Or Sins of the Fallen Emperor, Rites Masteries enhancing a demon's strength and physical prowess. As he fell into the downside, Solia Mur understood at last the consequences of his heathenistic reign. Along straight after using her rush to lunge forward, Jodariel can rush again right away. Mur's more ambitious predecessors subsumed one culture after another in the name of their empire. Relentless vigor after banishing an adversary, Jodariel instantly recovers all of her stamina. Solia Mur relinquished comfort, lineage, and title, yet still clinged to life. I think I'm going to take this one.
The demon scribe bestows his favor.
Because it caters to my playstyle a little more. After the rites, the accusers disappear into the darkness. As you return to the wagon, in the still night sky, you see a single star that burns brighter than the rest, beckoning you onward. During the rites hold, zero blah to fling the orb. The longer you charge, the more pyre damage you deal if the orb flies true. It's also really hard to do.
Smagonashe.
Well, my friends, what can I say? The rites are real, and we're in. Okay, yeah, an ancient ritual comp. Okay, yeah, I've already read that. The Getting Out of Here Club. Next up on the agenda, keep chasing stars till we're free. Until we are free.
Consilta vidias.
Until we are free. Here. Sounds fine. Might as well be us instead of Lendl back there. Anyway, guess we better start packing. As the others go about their business, Hedwyn turns to you.
Figuratus.
Reader, come walk with me while the stars are still out. You and Hedwyn walk in silence for a time before he speaks
Qui
up.
sentirna.
You have questions. Come, ask away. We need you in this for the long haul. Hedwyn wishes to know if anything is troubling you. Ask why he was exiled. Everyone has their reasons. At this point, you would like to know his. Ask how we got at this wagon. The black wagon and its contents belong to a group called the Nightwings. What happened? Ask why you cannot conduct the rites yourself. You led your fellow exiles to the rites, yet they have not asked you to participate firsthand. Why? Ask what happens if you refuse to help. You are beginning to get the impression that your participation is not optional. As far as I know, I mean, you can only ask one of these questions, and as far as I know, the first one is the only way to unlock Hedwyn's backstory in the roster. I don't know why. So, I'm just gonna hit that one. You ask Hedwyn what he did to get sentenced to living in the downside. He maintains eye contact and his smile.
Som terras.
Good question, my friend. We're gonna have a lot of time to discuss that, and many other things. Make you a deal. Read the stars for us again, and I'll tell you about it all the way. You sense he speaks truly as he beckons toward the fading dark above. You gaze at the stars. Okay, that's the gold star. It's only already red. Okay, we've unlocked a couple new stars. Sagathal, the Olden Star, star of the Whistling Prince. Those born under it possess a natural exuberance. Cassius, the Olden Star, star of the Seventh Jester. Those born under it tend to be rather complicated. Pisker, the Olden Star, star of the Wooded Watcher. Those born under it are mysterious and the alluring. I think that's a typo. Torvand, the Olden Star, star of the Great Oarsman. Those born under it are cool, calm, and collected. Virdan, the Olden Star, star of the Broken Boyar. Those born under it are steadfast or narrow-minded. And that's all the zodiac stars we have for now. Next one up is Jomer, the Dusk Star. The Dusk Star burns bright over an ancient spring in Jomer Valley. It's a long way north and west. We'll see if this old wagon's fit for it. Then he turns to the others. How's it going, rookie? Aim is fed, wheels clean. Status, Jody? No sign of howlers. Everything is secure. Good. Then get some rest. We're headed to the spring of Jomer. Jomer? At dawn, we're off. Spring of Dromware. According to the stars, the next rite shall soon commence here. The Alpha Chief hoped bathing here would cure his ailments, but it only made him itch. Okay, I'm going to stop there and go get something to drink, and I will continue where I left off.